Welcome everyone to the Dre's Wrestling Talks podcast, and I'm your host Dre. Today we are reviewing No Mercy 2002. I'm gonna do a better job than I did in the Unforgiven one. I apologize on the Unforgiven one because I'm still back and forth for whether or not I actually seen it, but I had to see it, right? I had to, but for some reason I don't remember. But this one, I know I did for 100%. So whether or not I remember that one, I don't know. No Mercy 2002. I 100% remember. So we are good to go, ladies and gentlemen. We are good to go. Like I said, I will give you the backstory about everything that's happening on the card, on the matches, and why the matches why the matches happen the way they happen, and the feuds and the storylines going on at that time period at the pay per view. So lock in. Let's lock in. Sit back, relax. Let's do it. First match of the night: Chris Jericho and Christian defending and retaining their World Tag Team Championships against Booker T and Goldust. Like I said in the last one, Christian was part of the Un-Americans for a while, and then he broke away from there, and then him and Jericho started teaming up, and they ended up winning the World Tag Team Championships. Here, we have Booker T and Goldust going for those World Tag Team Championships, and I think this is the pay-per-view, if I'm not mistaken, either this pay-per-view or the next pay-per-view is where that'll be the last time we see that O2 version of the Tag Team Championships, because then they'll debut the Raw version of the World Tag Team Championships, which is one of my favorite Tag Team Championships of all time because it was simple. You can see it. Basically, what the World Tag Team titles look like on Raw nowadays is kind of where they got it from. It's kind of the O2 originals is like right there. So right there, Booker T and Goldust getting the Tag Team Championship opportunities and then failing to win the championship. It made so much sense because this Jericho and them just being better. Jericho and them just being better. Next up, we had Tori Wilson defeating Dawn Marie in a match, and that's a choice. Dawn Marie and Tori Wilson was in this. They were legitimately. No, they wasn't. There was a third woman on that team, but basically, these are the only two in-ring female performers for the SmackDown brand. Another one was Nidia, who was what Jamie Noble during this time frame, but she didn't get in the ring hardly ever. If she did, it was once every blue moon. But of course, the Tori Wilson Dawn Marie feud, they started off as a feud, and then eventually Tori Wilson's dad get involved and all that crap. So I think this is the mix of that. Like right before this, all that about to pop over, and it's just not really a good match. Tori Wilson was never a good worker. Dawn Marie was pretty solid for her time, but you know what I'm saying? One of those Next up, RVD defeated Ric Flair. This happens after Ric Flair interfered in one of RVD's matches and cost him OW. So this is RVD's pretty much get back. If we're being honest, this is RVD's get back on the show, which he defeated him silently. It wasn't like a really good back and forth match like that. Make it seem like it was, but in reality, it wasn't at all 0%. So here, this match was going on. Good, like I said, solid match, but this is RVD's get back on Ric Flair in general, who by this time was around Triple H. So, hey, it started up. Next up, we had Jamie Noble with Nidia, ironically, retaining his Cruiserweight Championship of the World, defeating Tajiri. The Cruiserweight division really wasn't on nothing in 2002, quite honestly, because outside of Jamie Noble and Tajiri, you had Billy Kidman, and you still had Crash Hardy that was still running around doing random stuff. But the Cruiserweight division wasn't on fire. It'd be next year in 2003 where the Cruiserweight division takes a crazy step, and it's like, wow, this is one of the best divisions in wrestling type deal. Shout out to the TNA X division, from that time period. So solid match. Jamie Noble retains the championship. Good heel work. Next up, we had Triple H as the World Heavyweight Championship, defeating Kane, the Intercontinental Champion, to unify the titles. This reminds me of the SmackDown vs. Raw games, because in SmackDown vs. Raw 06, Eric Bischoff as the general manager, every time he was on the Raw side of things in the career mode, when he was on the Raw side of things, every time you won a championship, for whatever reason, Eric Bischoff would just vacating the championships nonstop. He was like, oh, time to vacate it. Basically, this is what this was going on here. They wanted to unify. Eric Bischoff had this idea of making a super brand with just only one world champion, with one singles men title, one tag team titles, and one women's title. That was a choice. I guess this is his idea. I guess this is his idea to keep the ratings above floating and stuff for the Monday Night Raw brand. Which okay, I can see that because SmackDown was just killing it. So Triple H defeated Kane, unified the titles, and then we'll never see the Intercontinental Championship again. At this point in time, we have not seen it and never been brought back up. So apparently, it's not back in the company at this moment in time. Up next, we had Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit defeating Edge and Rey Mysterio to become the official WWE Tag Team Champions for the SmackDown side of things. Great match, great match. This was like a 2 out of 3 falls match. What wasn't it? Wasn't it? I feel like it was. There's no way it was just one straight up match. It might have been. It might have been. Let's be honest. It might have been. It definitely might have been. But I didn't think that match was that long. I feel like the match got restarted at some point too. I don't know. It was a good match though. Definitely a really good matchup. Of course, part of the SmackDown 6, which basically 6 of the brightest, youngest superstars on the SmackDown brand getting a showcase at time and time again to bring in a new element, bring in a lot of the ratings that Paul Heyman has always talked about, that the SmackDown ratings were doing better than the Raw ratings, and you could tell why. You could definitely tell why. SmackDown was just kicking it. Like I said, it wouldn't be to the next year, in my personal opinion, where the Cruiserweight division gets better, the Tag Team division gets lit, the United States Championship division, which I don't know when that's supposed to come in. We haven't came on yet. And then another championship division, like everything just starts getting on fire, in my personal opinion. Though. Next up, we had Trish Stratus defeating Victoria to retain her women's championship. Too short of a match to really get excited for too much of it. But Victoria debuted as this crazy best friend of Trish that's supposed to look out or something, and then Trish left her high and dry, and Trish became onto WWE. Victoria didn't get that, and then she eventually get that, and then she had this exception of a Trish. Weird storyline, but some weird storylines the best storyline, but Trish retains here. And then the main event saw Brock Lesnar defending his WWE Championship inside of a Hell in a Cell match against The Undertaker. This was, I'm not going to lie to y'all, this was kind of a boring match for me. I know throughout the history of the Hell in a Cell match, it can get boring at times and stuff, and this one really was boring to me. I think the in-ring action was fine, but overall, in my personal opinion, this match just did no favors for me. I think it was solid. I think it was cool. Brock Lesnar didn't bleed. The Undertaker bled in this match. Heavy on the focus on... Oh, now I remember what happened at that pay-per-view. Okay, now I remember. But, they was bringing in the Sarah gimmick, and... I mean, not Sarah, just bringing in Undertaker cheating on his wife, which was dumb, because nobody was going to believe that at all. And they tried to make Undertaker look like this bad guy. Didn't really work out. Hell in a Cell match, like I said, to me, it was kind of boring to me. It was kind of bland. So I think one of those matches I have to go look back on. I got the details and everything. It just really didn't do much for me. It established, for what it did was establish Brock Lesnar. And that's what you wanted. You wanted Brock Lesnar to be established completely on domination because he won a WWE Championship at SummerSlam, beating The Rock, and you want to continue that domination by having him beat The Undertaker. So the next big thing was literally right here standing in our face. This is all still Rookie of the Year of Brock Lesnar. Like I said, Brock Lesnar debuted after WrestleMania on Raw, and took out the Hardy Boys at the pay-per-view, and then King of the Ring. He ended up beating Hulk Hogan. He beat RVD to win King of the Ring. SummerSlam pops up. He defeats The Rock, becomes WWE Champion. And then he gets thrust into this feud with The Undertaker. And then he takes a massive W here in a Hell in a Cell match to establish the beast in Brock Lesnar. Definitely a beast in Brock Lesnar. So pretty much that's it. That's the end of the pay-per-view, quite honestly. That's the end of the pay-per-view. I'll bring up this for the SmackDown side of things, for the tournament, for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Let me tell y'all who was all part of the tournament, right? Los Guerreros, which was Eddie and Chavo. Of course, chemistry is going to be on point. That's nothing problem. Mark Henry and Rikishi. Yeah, that was a choice. That was just tossing names together. Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle, of course, on this pay-per-view, they won the Tag Team Championships. Billy Kidman and John Cena was a tag team. Yes, of course, this is John Cena, rookie John Cena still. This is John Cena who haven't discovered himself yet. He's just a guy out there vibing pretty much. We had Reverend Devon and Ron Simmons as a tag team. Yeah, that was a tag team for whatever reason. I think they really missed an opportunity, in my personal opinion, to push Ron Simmons on his own for a little bit and do something before he decides he want to do in ring until he's done with in ring competition. In my personal opinion, of course, Billy and Chuck, the former tag team champions themselves, Edge and Rey Mysterio, of course, chemistry was on point here. And then they had Brock Lesnar to Jerry, which it was funny. They did that just to pop the ratings for it. In reality, Brock Lesnar didn't really care for this match at all. He did not care at all. That's the reason why they ended up getting this. So, yeah, that was the tag team titles tournament bracket. A lot of random names mixed together outside of teams that was already together. Pay per view, I think it was a really solid pay per view. Let's be honest, it was really strong pay per view. Definitely enjoyed it. But you guys go ahead, hit the share button. You know, do your thing. I will catch you all of y'all, at the next pay per view.